Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you a Transmutation Wizard build guide in Baldur's Gate 3. So the Transmutation Wizard is actually quite interesting because it gets some useful things that no other class has access to. So it can create a stone that you can give to a teammate, and it has a bunch of different bonuses. Now the thing is, you don't even have to have them in your party, so I'll be doing this build as if you're going to play as them, but I'm also going to give some tips if you want to have a Transmutation Wizard at your camp. Just give all those extra bonuses. So we're obviously going to be starting off as the wizard here. So as for our cantrips that we're going to be selecting, I would recommend going with the Fray of Frost, Shocking Grasp, and Minor Illusion. These can be doubled with water, which is really nice for the extra damage they bring. And Minor Illusion's good because it can pull enemies to different areas of the map, and you can lay down a fireball on top of them. I would recommend taking Friends over one of these if you're the face of the party. As for our spells at level 1, so there's a few that we want to definitely have. So Shield and Mage Armor are kind of our survivability. So this will give us a +3 to our armor class early on. When we're wearing clothing, we get our armor class at 13 plus Dexterity modifier. Shield gives our armor class to +5 on a reaction. So if we're going to get a hit, we can use Shield, and it can also block all the damage from Magic Missile. We're going to take Magic Missile. I also am a personal fan of Find Familiar. This worked really great early on, and just be able to create a cat that can take hits for you, and also get into small areas. Now, Chromatic Orb is probably one of the best damaging spells that we got. So we can change the damage type on this as well, which is awesome to be able to do. Early game Sleep is really great for 24 health points, and if you're going to run the Transmutation Wizard as a buffer, take Longstrider for that +3 movement speed to everyone in the party. That is really nice, but if you don't want to take Sleep, I would take like Thunderwave for the pushback that it can bring, but I'm going to go with Sleep because Sleep's really great until level 5. You can put 3 goblins to sleep, really useful. As for our ability scores, we're going to want to have a decent Dexterity. All our 3 points that would be Dexterity, Constitution, Intelligence. Intelligence is going to be for our attack rolls, Constitution for our overall survivability and health, and then Dexterity for the armor class that it brings. So something like this can work, or you can put more points in the Wisdom. Alternatively, you can go 16-16. If you're the Tav or Dirge, you can use the Hag's Hair to take this up to 18. And then our first ability score increase would take that up to 20. So really, whatever you got, we'll go with that there. And we always want to have a medicine proficiency because we can make double potions if you're into that kind of stuff with this class. And we make 2 potions for the price of 1 if we succeed a 15 difficulty class medicine check. So as for our subclass, Transmutation, so here it is, experimental alchemy. When you can brew 2 alchemical solutions instead of 1 when combining extracts. If you succeed a difficulty challenge 15 medicine check. So that's a fun little feature of that. And for our next leveled spells, we're going to get these else how, so I'm not going to take them, but Ice Knife is really great. Grease is decent crowd control early on, but as for our prepared spells, I would say to go with Shield, Magic Armor, Magic Missile, Find Familiar, and Chromatic Orb. And yeah, I'm going to be taking you through all the spells and some different suggested spells that you should have on this class. Now, Hold Person is fantastic. I would recommend having that. Hold Person still, all attacks within 3 meters are always critical hits. This is a huge spell, and a very useful one at that. Now, Cloud of Daggers can be pretty decent, too, for early game damage. A lot of people really like this spell, so I'm gonna pick that there, but just know there's a lot of other options that are also great as well. So, for a real transmutation spell, we can go Dark Vision, but I already have it on my class here. And for our next level spell, take Hold Person. So that's what we're going to prepare for level 3. And level 4, we get ourselves we get a Feat. We also get to choose another cantrip. Bone Chill is great to stop the target from healing. And Firebolt's good just to be able to explode anything that's like a barrel, if we got exploding barrels. I like Flaming Spear. It's a concentration, but it's another ally that we can have on our side to be able to take hits for us and be able to attack. So we'll go with that. And then Misty Step is a really great one as well. Knock can be good too to open up certain locks, but I'm going to go with that and take Misty Step. Bonus action. It's a good escape button to press and get away from any targets that may take us out. We're going to take our intelligence up to 18 with our first ability score improvement. That's just standard. Want to have a higher spellcasting modifier, so it makes sense. For our next 2 leveled spells, I am a huge fan of Lightning Bolt because this can be doubled with Create Water, giving us one of the most optimal damage outputs. Haste is really good as well. Now, if you have a sorcerer, make the sorcerer use haste, because they can twin it to themselves and someone else, so that you have 2 uses of haste for 1 spell cast and 1 concentration. Massive. I like taking haste. I think everyone should always have haste available, but the sorcerer just does it way better. We're going to take Glyph of Warding, because Glyph of Warding is a really nice spell. You can set down a glyph, choose a damage type, you can do it outside of combat, and it doesn't require concentration, so really nice. As for our prepared spells, I would like to take Lightning Bolt and our Glyph of Warding. So we'll go with that there. Next level, we get ourselves another spell slot, and we get our Transmuter Stone. So this is what I was talking about at level 6. So we can make a bunch of different stones. Some give Constitution saving throw proficiency. Some of them give you more movement speed. Some of them give you damage resist. I'll be going over those later in this video. Counterspell is an essential spell. I should have grabbed that earlier. I think it's best to always have it on your wizard, because they have more spell slots to burn through. And a good old-fashioned fireball. Everyone loves a good old-fashioned fireball. We'll take that. So we're going to go with this for our selected spells. If you find that you're not using Find Familiar, we can take, like, you can put Fireball or something on, but we're going to go with that for our spells. And then here we get our level 4 spells. So Minor Elemental is huge. Ice methods are really great in this game, so we can summon in 2 of them with this. And then also for our level 4 spell, we can go with something like, I really like Ice Storm for the icy surface and the ice damage or cold damage that we can do with this. But I also am a big fan of Confusion. Confuse a large group of enemies, causing them to attack at random, wander aimlessly, and occasionally skip their turn. So those 2 are really good together. Confusion can be great crowd control. We're going to put on the Minor Elemental for this level here, but at next level we can choose something else. And then at level 8, we further take more spells here, so Ice Storm is great. Again, you can learn any of these from scrolls, so if you mess up, don't worry about it. Wall of Fire is a good crowd control option too. It just makes a 5d8 wall of fire that you can block enemies with, so we'll take that. And either Wall of Fire or Confusion. I'm going to put Confusion on. Just depends if you like more damage or crowd control for whatever you need, your team needs. Now, I would say that going with the intelligence increase again here to take it up to 20. If you had the hags here to already have 20, I would recommend putting that into Constitution or Dexterity. But you could also go with like a Warcaster to get advantage on saving throws, to hold concentration on a spell, or Resilience in Constitution, which will give you +1 Constitution and give you proficiency in that saving throw, which is nice to have. So we can go with either of those, but I want to take the ability improvement to get intelligence up to 20. Now, at level 9, we get ourselves the level 5 spells, Major Elemental and Cone of Cold. Cone of Cold is huge, 88 of cold damage. That can be doubled for 128 damage. That is massive, so we're going to take that and Minor or Major Elemental there. What's nice is the elementals can set up water as well. The water elementals attacks set up water, so here's a cool feature. At level 10, we get the ability to transform into a blue jay and fly for 5 turns. This is a concentration. It's nice to have. It kind of makes us almost a druid, a diet druid, a great value brand druid, if you will. Hold monster, always want that. It's another spell I could have taken earlier. Cloud Kill's good if you have like a undead team, like another necromancer alongside you. But as for this next spell, I would... there's a... Level 5, there's not that many amazing spells, and you can always learn them from scrolls, so we want to take Hold Monster. That's just an incredible spell that can trivialize some encounters in the game. Now, here's where we get our max level spells. I am a huge fan of Chain Lightning. Upwards of 160 damage if you have water set up. Massive. Circle of Death can be good too if you have the Staff of Cherished Necromancy, because every time you kill with a Necromancer spell, you can get, you can just continually cast this over and over and over again. I do have a build on that, which is much more in-depth and powerful than this one would be, so we won't take that. Glow of Invulnerability is huge too. This is a really great wizard spell. And Odaluk's Freezing Spear is another one that I'm going to take it for the purpose of this build, but I would recommend taking Glow of Invulnerability. And then we're going to put on Chain Lightning there. So we can go with the... If we want that final feat, we can go with this extra level here. However, I think that it's actually best to add in the Cleric and add in, to be specific, the Tempest Cleric, because this will give us heavy armor proficiencies. It's going to give us Thunder Wave and Fog Cloud, and it's going to give us a reaction, which we just don't really have, other than Shield, with the ability to deal 2 to 16 lightning damage, and that's really nice. So we're going to take that and take Create Water as our spell here. You could have went with a little bit higher Wisdom to take Healing Word as well, but we're going to go with Create Water because that's really nice. So here we have it. So the build itself, I'll go over to gear here, I guess, first. So I'm using Hood of the Weave, +2 to spell save DC and spell attack rolls. However, we can add in the Helm of Baldur because we have heavier armor proficiencies. So I guess I'll throw on mage armor just to show what this would look like. Oh, I put armor on, my bad. So let's take that off. I have my hat on now, oops. So mage armor on ourselves. That would give us a nice armor class of 22. But we can go with, like, we can add in this, and we can put on heavy armor. So the armor persistence, which is one of the best heavy armors in the game, takes our armor class up to 27. And it also gives us blade ward, so halves physical damage, plus 1d4 to saving throws, and it reduces all incoming damage by 2. So this is good for survivability. It's kind of funny to have a wizard in heavy armor, but with the Tempest Cleric, anything is possible. Cloak of Protection, Evasive Shoes, and Ring of Protection. Love that +3 to armor class. I got the Glove of the Bligger and Skies here, so when the wearer deals thunder, lightning, or radiant damage, inflict 2 turns of reverberation upon the target. Alternatively, we could have went with the Gloves of Dexterity if we're going with the lighter armor class. I guess I'll go back to... We'd even go with the Armor of Agility. That takes our armor class even higher, which is kind of funny, but going all the way back to what we had previously, and with the Mage Armor, with the Gloves of Dexterity, that takes up to 24, so even better, but... the armor persistence gives us a lot more survivability, so not a bad thing to go with there. I like having the Cripple Lord Ring for the free Create Undead. This is a very powerful spell, but you can alternatively take something else, like the Ring of Regeneration for the extra healing. Crusher's Ring for movement speed is always good too, or even like the Paralyzing Ray is good. I'm using the Marka Heshkir Staff. This is extremely useful because it gives us Arcane Battery, so we can cast Chain Lightning for free. And we can also use Kareska's Favor and go with the Bolts of Doom, which is going to give us a free Chain Lightning as well. So we can do Chain Lightning, another Chain Lightning, and then our Arcane Battery Chain Lightning. So infinite sources of Chain Lightning, which is extremely powerful. That's why I wanted to add in the Cleric to take 1 level, because you can really make the Wizard a very powerful class by doing that. Now we get the Shapeshifter, so transform into a Blue Jay and fly away. So there it is, we're a little Blue Jay form. This is cute. You only have 5 health, but is a polymorph for 5 turns, and we can fly around. So, well, it's not like amazing for attacks. You can do your beak attack. It's more so just a, like, if you need an extra 5 health, it'll absorb 1 hit, maybe 2 if you're lucky. And then you can also just lure targets away with it, because they're going to go after you for the lower armor class that we have as a Blue Jay. So I think the intention for this is to fly into a Blue Jay and kind of like draw aggro towards yourself, and then you can finish them off as your team. We also have our familiars, so I would recommend bringing in your ice methods here. So ice methods are Conjured Cat, and then our I really like the Water Elemental or the Water Myrmidon. The Water Elemental can set up water on its attacks, which is making it one of the best options. So Slam creates a puddle of water around the impact site, so you can slam an area, and it's going to make water there for setting up your cold damage. So that can be really great. Typically you want to be using like your Glyph of Warding before combat. Hold Person's a really great spell too, to just really have your martial classes beat everyone up. You can upcast Create Water to hit a large area. Do that before combat. It'll show you all the invisible enemies on the battlefield, and then start off with a Chain Lightning and follow it up with a Chain Lightning and follow that up with a Chain Lightning, and they'll be done. So that's a really... you're not using the Transmutation Wizard's effects to its full advantage, but it's funny because the Transmutation Wizard's actually best to just make these here. So I'll go over all the Transmuter Stones. You can make it this your like camp buffer, and they can give you all Transmuter Stone, or give one of your players Transmuter Stone and use Long Strider on all your teammates. So this can give you proficiency in Constitution saving throws. I think this is probably one of the best ones because that's huge for any spellcaster that's wanting to hold concentration. We can also get Dark Vision of 18 meters, which is in between the 2 different racial Dark Visions of 12 and 24, so that's an interesting one. Movement Speed +3, which is nice. Any class can benefit from that because movement speed is huge in this game. And then resistant to acid, cold, fire, lightning, or thunder damage. So you got your options there. I think the Constitution Stone's probably the best one to go with. So you can see there we got the Transmuter Stone, and then we'll just sort by latest. And there it is. Grants a carrier proficiency in Constitution saving throws. So you can literally have them summon that in, give it to someone, and then leave them, get them out of your party. And there you have it. So that's the Transmutation Wizard build guide in Baldur's Gate 3. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you found this video useful, please hit the subscribe button below. Appreciate any and all support, and I'll see you all in the next video.